District 1 is the Black Opportunity District on the 10-1 Council, and it is about 46 square miles. 77,000 good people live in the district. My name is Ora Houston. I'm a member of the Austin City Council, and I represent District 1. I'm trying to focus on about 3 things now, and that's economic development, and that's bringing some of these jobs that we have created here in Austin into this community and the communities that are in this Eastern Crescent. Engagement is another. I have to get out into the community and say to people, you've got to get engaged in stuff. You know, all kinds of stuff is going on that impact the very quality of our lives. And I look out in the chambers, and there's me and the NAACP president, and that's pretty much it. And there are things that are going on in this city that people will call and complain about, but they will never come down to City Hall. If people don't see us, then we're kind of out of sight, out of mind. And so my message to people is get engaged and be there in the in-between times so that people know that we care and that we're paying attention. Then the third part of that is education. It's something that I have no jurisdiction on, but I can talk about how important education is. We graduate kids, and yes, they graduate. The graduation rate is getting higher, but it's like at an 8th grade level. You can't get a job with the 8th grade level. It's a very complicated situation. We've not talked about it in Austin for so long that we're beginning to have those conversations about systemic and institutional racism. And how do we turn that tide? Because it's about power, it's about access, and it's about privilege. And those of us whose skin tone is a little browner, we don't have that kind of power. I've lived in Austin a little over 60 years. I was born in Rome, Georgia. Moved here when I was 6 months old or something. I lived on East 11th Street, 815 East 11th Street, and it was during Jim Crow times. Austin was very segregated. Well, if you drive up 11th Street or 12th Street or any of the streets in historic East Austin, you'll notice that there are very little indications that people of color, especially Black people, lived anywhere in that area. You have to kind of look for us to know that we were there. And everything has to change. We stagnate if we don't change, but it's how we change and the intentionality that we change with. And so Austin grew so fast, and it was such an accelerated growth, and it was a certain type of demographic and a class that we were trying to bring in to make the economic structure more diverse. But in exchange for that, we got people that are very disconnected from the community, that kind of live in their own silos. You can tell the new houses in the area because they have gates. So they don't live in a gated community, but they live in gated houses, which says most people are not welcome in. We talk about how liberal we are and how progressive we are, but I should not feel uncomfortable going anywhere in this city with anybody, but yet I have people stare at me like, how did she get in my place? Well, it's my place. After I'm long gone and after you all are long gone, people know that Black people lived on this land before they got here. This was a thriving community before they got here. This was a creative community before they got here. It was a music community before we got here. And yet, if we don't kind of work together, then all of a sudden it becomes something new and some different people, and all that history fades away. And I think history is important, not only for our children, but for their children. And that's what we're missing. We're not telling that story very well to their children.